Mike Tyson, did you guys see him?
Yes,
Broke my heart. He got emotional.
Yeah, I teared up.
I said I never thought in this day and age that I would see Mike Tyson. I literally just saw this man, and to know that he's battling with all of this, you know what I mean? He says he feels like a bitch and empty, really, truly, without boxing, you know what I mean? And he fears that the man that he used to be, he's like, I hate the guy that I used to be. I'm actually very scared of him. And if that old beast comes out, he doesn't know, he wouldn't know what to do with him. What do you guys think about seeing Tyson like this?
Yeah, it touches my heart because being an athlete, I can relate on a level of the withdrawal you feel when you're no longer training the way you used to train, when you're no longer getting that feel of competition. But then you have to also remember you can't allow that to define who you are. And seeing him break down like that, it broke me because I'm like, you want to be bigger than what you did, what your past was, whatever your trials and tribulations were. But Mike Tyson's story is special because he was really, really screwed over in his career. And so to see him overcome so much, yeah, he had a lot of hiccups. We're not going to overlook the stuff that he had and all his headlines, but to truly see somebody actually express how they feel, a lot of other athletes, both male and female, are going to be able to learn from this because you need to do more while you're an athlete so that when you are no longer able to physically compete, your mind stays competitive.
Yeah, that's good. You know,
That's good.
I actually am personally relating to him, and not as an athlete. Obviously, I'm not an athlete. I'm short and all that, girl. But I've been in this business of doing radio. I know I look like I'm in my 20s, but I've been doing this for about 20 years. And recently, I've had to transition. You know, I did like hip hop radio for like so long in different states. And recently, I left a hip hop station here in LA. And I transitioned to where the demographics should be at this point. But that was more of a, I had to think about myself, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not a one-trick pony. I could actually do this, this, and this. So I had to have a conversation with myself, start to feel a little bit more passionate about where I am mentally. And I'm just not going to dumb down for certain things and allow bosses and people that are in the corporate world to tell me what I need to be doing. And that changing of a situation for yourself after so long could be frightening. You start to think about what happens if I can't do this anymore. This is all I know. How am I supposed to get a regular job? How do I start to get into this avenue or that lane? And it starts to F with your head a little bit. And you know, you just have to be positive. And he did the first step, which is letting it out.
Yeah, exactly.
He did the first step as in letting it out.
I mean, really just as a human being, watching Mike Tyson as a human being, not even as an athlete or anything, I think pretty much anybody can identify with that. It was just heartbreaking, really, because that became his identity. You know, when you think that that's who you are, not what you do, but who you are.
Girl, that's how I felt with my thing, So
I think we all can relate to that to some degree.
Tami knows I call her crying with it. I had to figure myself out.
So, you know, but what I love what athletes are doing now is just like what you said, OG, really kind of figuring out their next step, their next chapter. That's
and
really
not waiting for an injury. Injuries are tumultuous. You go up and down your emotions because you can't physically do what you used to be able to do, and you're never going to be 100%. So it's just you have to really figure out what you're going to do at your peak, so that when you're no longer at your peak, you feel comfortable transitioning over.
Amen, OG.
I think
That spoke to me. I think the part that resonated with me was that when he said, you know, the man that I was, I'm afraid of that man. Like if I saw that man today, I would be afraid of him. And that resonated with me because when you talk about what I felt he was trying to say was he had so much anger inside of him.
I mean, girl, he bit off an ear.
That he became a beast. No, but this was that. Hey, do not talk about Mike Tyson.
Hey, no, he's a smart man. I'm just saying there was anger. I mean, he bit a man's ear off.
We're gonna let that go.
I'm just saying the facts. I ain't talking smack on Mike Tyson because he's a smart man. I've interviewed him and I love everything he has to say. I'm not talking smack on him, but that's anger, girl. He bit a whole ear off.
But what I'm saying
there was a lot going on.
There was a lot going on in his life. But what I'm saying is when you've been through so much, and clearly we know Mike has, that part resonated with me because I felt like I've lived a life of 50 people on one person.
Right.
And I too was angry and had real anger management issues to the point of where I would lash out and knock out. You understand what I'm saying? Which is what he was doing at the height of his career. It's like, I'm going to channel all this into this fighting.
Absolutely.
And I did the same thing. And I just felt so sad when he said, that person, I'd be afraid of that person. Because for me, as I'm trying to transition and really just present 100% of myself to people rather than the part that was so angry all the time.
And you're such a beautiful person, by the way. I'm glad. You're just a beautiful person.